welcome to my channel. My name is April if you're new here, and today we are getting our craft on and we're going to do some DIY bookshelf decor. Yes, I am ready for spooky season. We don't have fall here at all. It's still almost 100 degrees and the leaves don't even start turning till almost December, so we're just gonna skip that whole thing and go straight into Halloween. I bought a ton of things from the dollar store recently and I really wanted to get some spooky decor for these shelves so I can decorate. So I have some ideas in mind and we're gonna get right to it. I have 4 DIYs for this video that I want to try. We'll see how they turn out. Sometimes they don't turn out well, sometimes they turn out awesome. I don't know, but let's get to it. For this first project, I'm starting off with these tiny frames that I got yard selling one day. I think they're really cute and vintage looking, so I'm starting by taking them apart. You can just leave them like this. I think they're cute, but I just don't like silver really. So instead of silver, I'm going to paint them black and bronze. This is my favorite black chalk paint. I think it acts as a primer in a lot of ways, and it's just very matte and it sticks really well to pretty much anything. You want to make sure you're painting all the way in the grooves because this is your background color. And then once you get them all painted black, you're just going to take a metallic paint. I used this bronzy color and paint the top of it so that way you can really enhance all those details of the frames. I did this for both of them and I think it looked great. If I had to do it again, I probably would go over with some gold as well just to make it really pop. But then I started making the ghosts that I wanted to make in this, and you're just gonna cut a circle. I really didn't know how this was gonna turn out, so I thought I would start with an eyeball to give it some structure, but it really wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. It was looking very squatty, and I didn't want a squatty ghost. So I just used my finger instead, and we zhuzhed. Okay, we just zhuzhed until it looked like the ghost that I wanted it to look like. And that's really all this whole project is. Once I got it to where I wanted it, I glued it on the frame, added some eyeballs, and what do you know? They're pretty cute. So for my second project, these were the bookends. This one was also really fun and turned out great. I had to cut this skull in half at first. I tried to use scissors, but the plastic is just a little thicker than you'd think. And so I used a box cutter. Once I used the box cutter, I had this scrap craft wood that I got from Hobby Lobby. I wanted to be able to attach this to my metal bookends that I have. They're just very plain, and be able to remove them when I was done with Halloween. And so I just glued the skull straight to these pieces of wood for some stability. And it really worked out really well. Of course, I'm the messiest crafter in the world, so I needed to clean up with my knife again. Don't worry about me cutting myself. Clearly, I'm good. I'm good now. But it did take a lot of gluing, and then once that was done, I just kind of measured them both to make sure they looked kind of even though they're gonna be so far apart, it doesn't matter. And then I got to town again with my favorite black chalk paint. I mean, I should have used a bigger brush. Looking back at this, a bigger brush would have helped, but honestly, I just put on YouTube, watched some booktube, watched some plant tube, and painted my day away. Once I got the black all on there, I went back in with this bronze paint, and again, I thought less was gonna be more at first, but nope, just slather it on there. And if you don't like the way it looks, just wipe it off. You could also go back in with black paint if you truly don't like what you did. But I found out more was more with these. The more bronze, the better it looked. So I just went, again, hog wild. It honestly turned out really great looking the more I put on. So it worked out well for me, and then I just put them on the shelves, glued them to the bookends, and they were good. This one might have been one of my favorite projects because it inspired a bit of a story to it. These are just some foam pumpkins. I cut a hole in them big enough for this eyeball, and then I painted it. And that's really all this project is. But I kind of was thinking about the story behind these pumpkins as I was doing it, and I'm thinking that these are just two vagabonds that were going down a dirt highway in the middle of the night, and they came upon a girl and they didn't want to help her, but what do you know, she was actually a witch, and then she cursed them. So she cursed them to actually be these pumpkins for the rest of their days because they're jerks. They wouldn't help anybody. So that was my little story that I thought would be kind of cute for these pumpkins, but really I just squeezed this eyeball in as soon as I got the hole big enough for it. It took a little bit because I didn't want to glue it in there. I just wanted it to fit. But once I did that, I had to make it look, I don't know, cohesive in a way. So I figured I'd make kind of an eyelid for them both. I just rolled out a piece of clay. This is just baking clay. I didn't actually bake it on there, so this clay is unfired, and I really just molded it around to make it look like an eyelid as best I could. I played around with a few shapes, but that's it. I mean, once I got both of these on there, I just painted them. I tried to match the color of the pumpkins as best I could. I didn't get any footage of that, but just imagine me playing around with paint to figure out what looked best, and then having a lot of cleanup to do because I got clay and paint everywhere. It was crazy, but I liked it. I know I said the last project was my favorite, but this one is also my favorite, and it starts with these Christmas houses that I got from the dollar store. Of course, I'm going to paint it first using my black chalk paint that I love. It acts as kind of a primer. So I started with that, and then I played around with the rest of the colors of the house. I kept it green because I love the color green, kind of put some gray and some bronze on there as well, and kind of made this little tavern. I asked some of my friends what I should name it, and we decided on Bubbles and Brews. And Bubbles and Brews really kind of took off of how I would do the ghosts. I know I wanted to make one ghost waving, so this is the first one that I'm doing to make the little beer steins, I guess they are holding. I really just rolled out some teeny tiny sausages, and oh my gosh, the handle was even smaller. It was like the smallest snake ever. But I really loved the way these ghosts turned out. I made 4 of them in different poses, and I decided that 2 of them needed to be in a tree, so of course I had to make a tree somehow. This is me trying to figure out how I was going to do that. The tree really needed to stand up on its own, so I decided to use this craft wire. And so I just stuck a bunch of pieces of craft wire together, and then I used both my pliers. I have 2 pairs of pliers here to twist them all together so they stay together. It really, I played around with only using 4 pieces of wire first, but then I decided to double it because I really wanted a thicker trunk of this tree. But twisting it really gave it the structure that I was looking for. I'm sure you can make this so many different ways, but this was mine. And then once I got the main trunk going, the bottom ended up being kind of like gnarled roots. And then I decided to take 2 of each of the little things to make branches. Now the first branch here is one that I'm going to have some of the ghosts sitting on. So I had to make sure that this was able to be, the weight of it was going to be distributed evenly. But I think it actually turned out pretty good. I was really happy with the structure of this. And then to wrap it, I just used tissue paper and Mod Podge. I don't know about you guys, but I always want to say Mod Podge. But that's not what it is. It's Mod Podge. But for this, I just coated it with Mod Podge, wrapped the tissue paper around as much as I could. And then I got to the real fun part, which was actually literally just using my fingers, dipping it in the Mod Podge. See, there I go again, Mod Podge, and twisting it. And this really gave it that branch-like gnarled look. And I was really loving it by this point. I could see the vision coming to fruition. And of course, Leo had to come in here several times while I was crafting and get some head rubs and some butt scratches. He is always my buddy. He's always here. So if you never see him in videos, don't worry. He's still right next to me. He even was just in here doing the voiceover. And then of course, again, this black paint. I'm telling you, it's the best craft paint. It's just black chalk paint. So I painted it black, but then also again, I used my bronze to make the tree look a little dark brown. And then I had to paint my little ghosts after I baked them. So all of these ghosts are baked in the oven using my baking clay. This really took a steady hand, which I don't have, so I used white paint after I finished painting all the other colors to kind of clean up. And I thought I would make the beer signs all different colors, but I just settled on red because, you know what? I was just tired of painting by this time. It was a lot of painting for all of these projects, and I am not the best artist at all. But let me tell you, each and every single one of these projects were so fun. They gave me such a mood boost. I was just enjoying it. I'm not the biggest crafter because I am so impatient, but all of these, they were just a joy to do, and it really stretched my creative brain that I didn't even know I had. But yeah, once I got all these painted, I put them together and it was so cute. Those are all my crafts for this video. Let me know if you liked any of them, because some of them definitely not my best work, but I'm a beginner and I just had a ton of fun crafting, and I think that's all that really matters. I liked how most of them turned out. And I'm definitely going to be using them soon to decorate my entire bookshelves for the season. So watch out for that video coming next. It'll be like my October monthly reset video. Also in the month of October, I am going to be doing some more DIYs because I'm actually co-hosting the Create-a-thon. This is put on by Dave. I'll link his channel below, but it's a whole month long of creating things. And then there's some Halloween inspired themes that you could go off of. But whether you are a digital photographer or a crocheter or a diamond painter or a crafter like me, the whole month is just to create something. It's just to have fun and get those creative juices flowing. So I can't wait for that. I definitely have a couple more dollar store things that I want to do. For instance, I need to do something with this pumpkin. I think he's cute as he is, but I need to do something more with him. So this is on my plate for October. I also have another skull that I want to use. You saw the second skull that I have. However, that I think I want to turn it into a grimoire. I think that would be perfect for my bookshelves, especially for spooky season. If you liked this video, please follow me for more bookish content, but also some crafting, because lately I've been really loving it. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.